What's up everyone, I'm back again, and this time I'm going to show you a little more detailed tutorial on how to install all the emulators, all relevant emulators on the Nintendo Wii. And by relevant I mean Sega, Nintendo, PlayStation, Neo Geo, Mame. We're going to see if we can get all of them installed instead of doing a one-by-one tutorial, making one video at a time, how to install this, how to install that. I'm going to try to get this all done in one shot. So let's get right to it. So, first thing we're going to do is grab our SD card and pop it into the computer. For me, it's an SD card reader. And we are going to switch over to the PC. List of homebrew emulators, Wiisxr.org. You can see there's a huge list of things that we can install on this. I'm just going to go through the basics because I don't really think most people want to know how to install an Intellivision. So let's start with the first one on the list, the Nintendo Entertainment System. These all are pretty basic. Every single one of these is installed essentially the same way. The only difference would be the Nintendo 64 and I believe the PlayStation 1. Their installation is relatively the same, but the PlayStation 1 requires BIOS and you have to put your emulators in, or your ROMs I should say, a certain way, and they have to be titled a certain way. We'll get to that when we get to it. So let's start with the Nintendo. So we see FCE Ultra GX. We'll go to open link. I'll just open it in a new tab and go to download. And we're going to download this FCE Ultra GH 3.4.8 zip. One thing that you are also going to need, preferably, is a unzipping program like 7-Zip or Winrar. I use Winrar. I'll leave that in the description below. You should get that downloaded before we even start this. So I decided to clear my Wii out from the last time that I modded everything because I already installed a Sega emulator, and at the very end of the video you can see I did a mashup of all sorts of things that I was playing at the time. So I decided to clear it out, do it all from scratch so I can do it step by step with everybody. So I'm going to make a new folder, unlike the one I did last time, and we'll call it Wii Stuff, just like last time. I'm going to throw the FCE Ultra GX into that folder. I'm going to open the folder and extract here. Another thing I'll do just to kind of pretty this up, I'll make a new folder and I'm going to call it NES. And actually, let's just drag the stuff let's just take the stuff that we just downloaded, throw it in that folder. There, nice and clean. So open up your SD card. And our apps folder that we made in the previous video, which if you haven't seen that last video, I'll leave a link to the description and I'll see if I can put one of those tags up top. I haven't done that before. Click that, figure out how to install the Wii because you're going to need to do the homebrew channel before you can do any of this. So you can see we made an apps folder last time. All you're going to do is go into the apps folder the NES Emulator created, and you'll see it has an FCE UGX. Inside has the boot.dol. We're going to take that whole folder, throw it into the apps folder on the SD card, and on the root of the SD card we'll make a new folder here. Actually, I don't think we have to. This one did it for us. So if you go back into what we extracted on the FCE Ultra, it gave you this FCE UGX. If you double click it, you'll see it says cheats, ROMs, and saves. So you can just drag this whole thing onto the root of your SD card. You don't have to make it yourself, which is what I was going to have you do, but yeah, I'll fuck it. So that's it. The NES emulator is pretty much done. The only other thing you have to do is open it up, go to ROMs, and toss a ROM in. It has to be in the .RAW format, so don't extract it in here. Just leave it alone. I can't show you how to get the ROMs, so that part's on you. Sorry, dudes. So now we're done with NES. So let's go ahead and jump on to the next one. We'll exit out of this and we'll go to Genesis Plus because this gives you the Sega Master System, the Game Gear, and Mega CD. So I guess Genesis Plus, which is the one we did last time in the last video. Still, it's all the same. Download. We'll grab Gen Plus, whatever this was, 1.75 RC. Once it's downloaded, we'll toss it in the folder we made on our desktop. Actually, we're going to open it first. Like I said, make everything pretty. Make a new folder. I'm going to call it Sega. And I will toss the emulator we just downloaded in there and extract it. I'm going to delete all the text files because we don't need it. And we are going to take our SD card, which I closed for some reason. There it is. Leave that open this time. So we are going to go into the apps folder on the emulator, genplus.gx or /gx, -gx, whatever. Toss that into the apps folder on your SD card. And we'll go back. And see, this one didn't give us that folder, so this one we're going to have to create ourselves. Go to the root of your SD card, go to new folder, and you're going to type in, we'll just do Sega Emulator. Open this up and create a new folder for ROMs. And we'll create another new folder here for saves. Once again, it's the same process. Grab a ROM, toss it in your ROM folder as a in RAR format, and you're all set. Sega's done. So now, let's see, just scrolling down this list, we have the Neo Geo CD now. PlayStation 1. I guess we'll do the PlayStation 1. However, there is 2 in this list. You'll notice that there is a PC SX Revolution, and this one is Wiisxr. I actually don't want to use either. There is a separate emulator called Wiisxr, which is a little better. So we're just going to go into Google. We're going to type in Wiisxr. Yeah, I think this is it. So once again, I'll leave a link to the Wiisxr, which we've been on, that's giving you that huge list of emulators. And for all the ones that aren't on the list that I'm going to do, I'll leave a link to that as well. Wiisxr beta 2.3 zip. And show in folder. Open up the one on our desktop. Make a new folder. Call it PlayStation 1. And drag the Wiisxr beta 2.3 zip in there and extract here. Now we'll open up our SD card, and once again, same process. Open up apps in the folder, drag Wiisxr into the apps of your SD card. Then you'll see you have Wiisxr right here with your BIOS, ISOs, and saves. You're going to drag that on to the root of your SD card. It's very important when you drag these in there, if they come with it, that you do not rename them. Don't name this one PlayStation Emulator like I did with Sega Emulator over here. Only create one if you have to, if it's not included. So we'll leave this as Wiisxr. You'll open it. Now this will not run for 2 reasons. You're going to need your BIOS, which I can show you what the BIOS looks like, but it's one of those things where I can't show you where to get it, so that's going to be on you. Alright, I'm back. So, I had to find it. I had no idea where the hell it was. So, this is what the BIOS looks like. You're going to need this scph1001.bin. Once again, I can't show you where to get it, but this is crucial. This needs to be in your BIOS file of your PlayStation emulator. Once again, for ISOs, this is going to be a little different as well. When you put a ROM in, it has to be in its own subfolder. Well, it's not a ROM, it's an ISO. But let's say we'll make a new one. We'll call it Tony Hawk. I'm not actually putting Tony Hawk in, but if you have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, this should be named the exact title of the game. So Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. You know what I mean? It's got to be the exact name of the ISO that you're putting in. Then you'll drag your ISO into this, which it should be in a .bin file and a .q file. You're going to want to put both of those files into your subfolder here that you've created for the game. Can't show you how to do it, but you get the gist. That's all you gotta grab. That's all you gotta gab. Alright, so PlayStation 1 should be done. We're gonna go to Super Nintendo. SNES 9GX is what we're gonna download. I'm just gonna go back and open that in a new one. New tab here. Hit download. SNES 9GX 4.4.9 zip. Show in folder. Go to your desktop. Go into Wii stuff. New folder, we'll call it SNES. Open it, throw in that RAR file we just downloaded, extract here. Now we'll open up our SD again, go into the apps of what we just extracted, throw in SNES 9GX into the apps on your SD card. And then you see you have SNES 9GX right here with your ROM, saves, and cheats. Throw that into the root of your SD card. See what I mean? All of these are essentially the same. So we'll go ahead and close this now. And once again, you'll have to open it, go to ROMs, throw your ROMs in a RAR format. We'll close this. Super Nintendo's done. We have an Atari 2600, Stella Wii. I believe there should be another 2600. Yeah, Wii 2600. We'll download that one. So once again, this one's for Atari. Download. Same process all over again. Going to Wii stuff. New folder. Call it ATARI 2600. Open it up. Throw it in. Extract here. Open up your SD card. Put in Wii 2600 into your apps folder. This one came with its own folder again for ROM snapshots and probably a save state. That's my guess what that is. Wii 2600 onto the root of your SD card. That's it. All you gotta do is once again add a ROM and you're all set. It's gotta be in RAR format. Do not extract. Alright, what's next? We have the Nintendo 64. So, go to Wiisxr right here. Open link in a new tab. Go to download. Got a bunch of shit here. Let's see. Wiisxr Beta 1.1. SRC. Wiisxr Beta 1 zip. Looks like the same damn. Oh, it's 1.1. So I think we're going to go with the first one here. This Beta 1.1 zip. Show in folder. Alright, and then from here, same thing. Go to Wii stuff. New folder. Nintendo, we'll just call it N64. Open it up, throw in the RAR, extract here. Open up your SD card. Go to the apps of the folder we just extracted. Wiisxr, you're gonna throw that into the apps folder on your SD. You see you got Wiisxr right here with your ROMs and saves. This is going to go onto the root of your SD card. And for this one, the ROMs have to be extracted to run. So, what it's going to look like is you go into Wiisxr, go into ROMs. Let's say you have Super Mario 64. Let's say you have that and you have the ROM for that. You go to new, we'll call it Super Mario 64. So you'll open up the Super Mario 64 subfolder. You'll throw your ROM that's in a .rar format, and you will extract it in this folder. And that's how you get it to run. After you extract it in there, I would remove the main .rar out of there, because if you accidentally click that on the Wii, it's not going to run. You want to click that extracted file that we just put in there. So that's how you do that. Going into handhelds now. Get the Game Boy Color. So this one is Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. So Visual Boy Advance. So we'll start with that. Go to open link in new tab. Go to download. Visual Boy Advance 242 zip. Show in folder. Open up your Wii stuff folder on your desktop. Create, I'll just call this one GBA. You can name it whatever you'd like. Throw in Visual Boy and extract here. Next up, open up your SD card. Same thing all over again. Open your apps folder in what we just extracted. Throw in VBag into the apps folder on your SD card. And then you'll see VBag X with your ROMs and saves. We're going to throw that VBag X right into the root of the SD card. Same thing all over again. Open VBag, throw in your ROMs. These can be in the RAR format. You do not need to extract them. You know what? I guess we'll do the Mame Emulator next. This one's pretty simple as well. So we're going to open it in a new tab. We're going to go to Download. We're going to go to, I guess, the 1.0. Seems like the best one, right? Show in folder. Create that new folder in your Wiisxr folder on your desktop. I'm just going to call this one Mame. Throw that in there. Right click, go to extract here. Now we're going to open up our SD card. Same thing all over again. Go into apps. Throw this SDL Mame Wii straight onto your apps in your SD card. Then you're going to throw this Mame folder with your ROMs and all that crap right onto the root of your SD card. And you are going to add your ROMs, which again can be in the .rar format. What else? What else? What else? Neo Geo Emulator. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Go to download. Don't want these tar.gz files. We might .dat. Yeah, I think we're just gonna do this geo 05b.zip. I don't know what the tar.gzs are. I don't know what the .dat file is. So we're just gonna go with the .zip file. Show in folder. Once again, the Wii stuff on your desktop. New folder. We'll call this one Neo Geo. Open it up. Throw in the Neo Geo RAR. Extract here. And open up your SD card. Go into apps. GX Geo. Throw that into your apps folder. GX Geo right here, right underneath. You got your ROMs, RC, ROMs, saves, config. This one, honestly, I'm not sure. I'm gonna say once this is on your SD card, I would throw your ROMs into the ROMs folder, not ROMs RC. I don't really know what that is. I don't really play Neo Geo, but it's the same thing. I'm pretty sure it's just got to be in the RAR format. Toss it in the ROMs folder, and you should be good to go. We'll find out at the end if that's what it actually is. But take this whole folder, throw it on the root of your SD card, and we're good to go once again. What consoles did I miss? Let's see, we got NES, we got 64, we got Super Nintendo. We don't have a GameCube emulator. So for this one, we're gonna grab Nintendont, which isn't in the list. So go to Google, type in Nintendont. Alright, so type in Nintendont, you're gonna see it's on the Wiisxr.org. It just wasn't in the list that we were looking at. Go to download. And download. Close out of that. We have the Nintendo zip right here. So still same process. Open up your Wiisxr folder. Make a new folder. Call it GameCube. Open it up. Throw in Nintendo. Extract here. And go back to your SD. What was that? Nintendont. Yeah, so I think we can just throw this whole Nintendont file into your apps folder. I'm just gonna make sure it's highlighted. I don't want to throw it into Geo on accident. So throw it into your apps folder. And on your root, since this didn't come with ROMs folder, GameCube games aren't ROMs, so we're just going to make a new folder on the root of your SD card, and we're just going to call it Games. So for this one, it's a little different. You're going to go into the Games folder that you just made. It's just like the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation 1. You have to create a subfolder with the name of whatever game you have. So let's say you have Super Smash Bros. Brawl. We'll just call it Super Smash Brawl. Inside that folder, you'll have to put your ISO, extracted, and you will have to change the game from the file name. Let's say it says smashbrawl.iso. You have to change the name to just game.iso and leave that in your ROMs folder, or in this case, our games folder. And that should be that. It should run from there. So we're all set with GameCube. Is there anything else that I can think of? Let's see. Go through the list again. We got Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube. We have the Atari 2600. We have Game Boy Advance. We have PlayStation 1. There's tons of others, just like looking at the homebrew list here. There's still tons more, but you guys should get the gist of it by now of what you have to do to get these things running. I don't think that I missed any. No, that's pretty much it. So I think we covered everything that we need to get our emulators running on here. So all you have to do is add your ROMs the way that I told you to in this video. I can't actually show you where to get the ROMs once again. That's going to be on to you guys. So add your ROMs and then we'll get right over to the Wii. So let's go ahead and switch over to that. All right, we're back. So I got all my ROMs put in and we're going to take a look at what we've done. You followed all my steps and you added your ROMs. Go ahead and go to the homebrew channel, go to start. And you'll notice all of these little submenus. You got SNES, Visual Boy Advance, Wii 2600, Wii 64, Genesis Plus, Neo Geo, Mame, Nintendont, Sega Genesis. This one's the original Nintendo, and Wiisxr. So it's important to know that the PlayStation 1 has a very shit list for things that will run on it. There's really not a lot of games that will run good. There is a compatibility list online. I'll see if I can post that in the description. If not, just go to Google, type it in. It's very, very easy to find. So we're gonna go to load. I only put one game into this just because I know it works. So from here, we're gonna go to settings. And you'll notice when you go to select BIOS, HLE is selected. You're gonna wanna switch it to SD because that's where we put our BIOS. I'm going to leave everything the way it is here. If you guys want to change this up, you can, but all I'm interested in is just getting the game to load. Go to load ISO, load from SD, Crash Bandicoot's in here, and we're going to load the .bin file. I don't think it matters if you select .q. I'm just going to choose the bin. And then we're going to go to play game. See what happens. Did it not work? I'm sure there is a setting that you can go to take away that frames per second up at the top of the screen. I'm not worried about it right now for these purposes, but everything seems to be running okay. I would say so. It doesn't look too choppy. Looks pretty good. Cool. And to exit out of this, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Just hit the reset button on your Wii and then go to quit. So everything seems to be running okay. I may make another video in the future on showing you guys how to play Wii games as backups on your console, but I'm not too worried about that right now. I think we got everything just about good. Maybe I should test one more. Let's go to Visual Boy Advance, go to load. And I tried something new on here. You'll notice I have something called Team Training V8 and Pokemon Glazed. So I'm pretty sure you can play ROM hacks on here without having to do anything special. I'm gonna try Team Training V8. Let's go ahead and just select that, see what happens. And it seems to be running. And you can see that this is a Dragon Ball Z game now, and it's not Pokemon, yay! So, good to know. And, let's go ahead and go home. The Wiimote does work on this one, so hit home on the Wiimote and just go to main menu, hit OK. And we can exit out of here. So I think everything's good to go. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment below. I'll try to help you out. If you have a video request, let me know. Leave a like, maybe drop a subscribe, you know what I mean? And I'll catch you next time. Have a good one.